Hey, what's up everybody? Too Tall Toby here, and today I've got a really good clip for you from the 2023 tournament. And I thought it might be fun, if you want. You can try to play along with these speed modeling experts. So when I show you the 2D print, you can grab a screen capture, put it over on your second monitor, and right away you can begin modeling and see if you are faster than these speed modeling pros. I also thought it would be fun to throw a clock on top of the video so we can see how long it takes these speed modeling experts to finish this challenge. So let's get into it. And now we're gonna see our very first matchup of the day between SolidWorks and Inventor. Who is faster? This CAD vs. CAD battle begins in 3, 2, 1, go! What is the mass of this part in X grams? Tolerance is plus or minus 3 grams. So our runners are grabbing a screen capture of this print. They are moving it over to their second screen, and they are jumping into their CAD system of choice and beginning their models. If you're watching from home, be sure to grab a screen capture yourself, and let's take a look. You know, if you're watching from home on the TV, another way that you could view a screen capture would be to also watch from your mobile device.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe ask a couple people in the house to watch from their mobile device. You know?
I support that.
Yep. And that way you'd be able to pause the video when the 2D print comes up, and you'd be able to look at that and follow along with the action and then continue watching on your screen. Maybe if you have several people sitting around on the couch watching, get them all to bring it up on their phones.
Oh,
I don't know. Maybe everybody could hit the like button as well.
Oh, yeah.
This CAD vs. CAD battle is sponsored by REVOPOINT. REVOPOINT sponsoring the green bracket. C skimming. Okay, remember, we're not going to answer in the chat. I appreciate that answer, but we're not going to answer in the chat C skimming. So I do appreciate that very fast answer. Let's see here. Cool part. I like the lubrication guide. Okay. Yep. Nice. Let's see here. Let's see here. Nice part. Looks like fun. Yep. All right, this is an awesome part, says Nico Concarne. All right, awesome. So we see that both of our runners, what they do as always is they look at the 2D print and they try to come up with a plan for how to create this 3D model from that 2D print. And it's not always easy. You know, it's not always easy to just come up with that plan. It's very tempting just to kind of jump right in and begin sketching. And sometimes that's the best approach. Sometimes it's better to kind of take your time and figure things out. In this case, we see that both of our runners using Inventor and using SolidWorks are taking a very similar approach, kind of using the layout sketch approach.
Yeah, I always think it's interesting watching the tournaments and how oftentimes both runners will, even if they're using different software, start off in a very similar way, which I think it just shows like the expertise that both runners have.
Yeah, I agree. And there are some kind of staples across any CAD system, you know, when it comes to creating a 3D model. If you're working from a blueprint or if you're working from a napkin sketch, you want to kind of start out with a game plan. Like, how am I going to model this thing? What's going to be my first sketch? What's going to be my first sketch plane?
Yeah.
Does the model have symmetry? You know, in this case, the model does have symmetry. So I think we're going to end up seeing our runners taking advantage of that and kind of working from the center outward.
Yeah.
But will we do that by doing mid-plane extrusions like what PRANAV is doing? Will we do that by just modeling half the model and then mirroring it? You know, it could be a variety of solutions here, and we're going to see what happens. But PRANAV is really off to a great start here on the left using SolidWorks, kind of getting in there, quickly creating the layout geometry using SolidWorks, and then taking that layout geometry and using it to construct his features. There's a feature in SolidWorks called a shared sketch, where you're able to take one sketch and use it over and over and over again. And PRANAV really did a masterful job of using that.
Yeah. Oh, big shout out to Ricardo from Italy.
Oh, all right. Ricardo Jean is here. Welcome, welcome. Says GG Players. Great to see you in here, Ricardo. It was wonderful seeing you in the tournament a few weeks ago. If you guys didn't get a chance to see Ricardo's match, be sure to go back and watch that episode. It was pretty darn epic.
Yeah. I think it's interesting how JAUSH has the mass already kind of set up there.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet. Yeah, there's a lot of CAD systems, including SolidWorks, including Onshape, where you can actually just have the mass shown the whole time, and it can be a great way to save time in these kinds of speed modeling speed modeling competitions. If your CAD system has that functionality, be sure to take advantage of it. Onshape didn't have it built in, and so somebody just wrote a quick what's called a feature script. I don't know if you guys are learning about that in Onshape, but a way that end users can create custom features in Onshape. And yeah, by creating a feature script, they were able to just have the mesh shown automatically.
That's cool.
Yeah. Looks like JAUSH is struggling a little with that that end face being planar, but okay, it looks like he resolved it somehow. I don't even know how he resolved that there. I don't even see that profile entity, but he's got it.
That Inventor wizardship.
Yeah, an Inventor wizardry for sure.
Just out of curiosity, what was there any like inspiration for this part?
I mean, a lot of these parts, a lot of times I just take inspiration just from being out. If I'm out in a shop or if I'm out in the field and I see a part, a lot of times I will end up just kind of trying to model it up. Sometimes I'll see parts like in old, you know, old engineering books. You know, I like to look through old books and kind of see what has changed and what has stayed the same.
Nice.
And sometimes as I'm doing that, I will find a part and I'm like, oh, that would be great for the tournament.
Nice.
But most of the time I don't, really, I think I could say almost 100% of the time, I don't make the parts exactly the same as they are in the books or exactly the same as they are in the real world for a couple of reasons. One reason is just because it's often not feasible to have all those dimensions.
Yeah.
Fillets in particular are kind of difficult on that front. It's easier for me to include nice crisp dimensions to sharp corners. But beyond that, it's also just because I don't want anybody to be able to like find an old engineering book and go through it and then know all the models that are going to be in the next contest.
Yeah.
You know, I want every model to be pretty unique, have its own Too Tall Toby spin on it. So, you know, certainly as we get into more and more tournaments in the future, we're going to be reusing some of these models with some changes, some dimensional changes, but they'll be reused in the future. But as far as like old models from other places, I always try to put my own spin on them. I always want to, you know, make them a little bit unique for the tournament.
Nice.
Big B Forms AZ says, you're doing a great job, Toby. Thank you. I needed that this morning. I do feel like I'm kind of easing into the groove a little bit more now, so thank you.
Oh, I like Design Pool's idea.
Design Pool says, you should 3D print miniatures of the parts and sell them as collectibles. Oh, hashtag business ideas. I like it. I like it. I like it. Guys, check out how close our runners are now. We got a little bit off topic there, and while I was looking away, I see that Pranav is already trying to come up with an answer here, inputting his answer, and that answer is, what are we on here, 56? That answer was 4112 grams, and that is correct.
Congratulations.
So, wow. We got a little, I apologize to the chat, we got a little off topic there with our discussion, but while we were doing that, Pranav really just tore through that model, created all that geometry. We can see that JAUSH is right behind him, but coming up with maybe an incorrect mass there when he came up behind him. 4337 I see on the screen. Oh, he just wants to close it. JAUSH is just like, I'm done. Next model, I don't care.
Yeah, Josh is here for business, not games.
Yeah, JAUSH is here for business. We're going to try and make sure that we stay a little more focused on the conversation this time around. Good luck to both of our runners. Let's flip over to full screen here. This epic CAD vs. CAD, SolidWorks vs. Inventor CAD battle begins in 3, 2, 1, go! What is the mass of this part in x.xxx pounds? We got a pounds model, everybody. Tolerance is plus or minus 0.005. We got an IPS model here for everybody. Both of our runners are already getting into it. Let's flip over to our CAD versus CAD battle, see what these guys are coming up with. We see that Pranav on the left is once again starting out very similar shape to the last one, huh? The two circles and the tangent lines between them. This is Pranav's specialty. The Wheel of Fate is being kind to him. And so, very nice part here, working in IPS. And we're going to see how our runners do in this matchup. SolidWorks versus Onshape. And I got a feeling this is going to be pretty darn epic, this matchup. JAUSH, Pranav seemed like he was going to get that sketch finished first, but it was actually JAUSH who got it finished first and got it extruded into the third dimension. So very impressive there from JAUSH, kind of almost like coming from behind story on that one.
Yeah.
Pranav still struggling to get those contours selected and get that thing out into the third dimension. Let's see if this gives JAUSH the opportunity that he's looking for to springboard ahead and secure the point.
Yeah. Oh, I'm seeing Gary's comment right there. I'll bet it's a lot more complicated than it looks. That's definitely true. Our CAD teacher, as like a demonstration of how advanced that the runners are in the Tall Toby tournaments, challenged us to run at the same time as them. And we were maybe like the first 3 steps by the time they were done, this like 19-step part.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's a great observation, a great point there, and definitely something that I've noticed as well. I've done the same thing where I've tried to kind of run against these guys, and it's very impressive how fast they are able to complete the models, even compared to how fast I'm able to complete them. This model does have a little bit of what you might call an Ivan exploit thwart in it, in the sense that there's an element of this model. There's a taper to this model. If you look at this model from the top view, you can see that there's a taper. And the reason we do that sometimes is because we want to thwart anyone who's trying to exploit the models using the Ivan exploit. So whenever there's a taper like that, it really kind of locks down the importance of the location of some features. Yeah. So that taper, it may seem kind of arbitrary, but it is functional. It's functional for this part, of course. Oh, yeah. And then it's also functional because it means that you can't just kind of drop your features anywhere. You have to really make sure you locate them correctly.
Yeah. I have an exploit. It's very cruel if you don't see it and someone else does. Yeah, I don't know. I always thought it was super cool how like that out of the box thinking of just like, I don't need to put these in the exact spot. I can just place them wherever I want to, and it'll still be the same mass.
Yeah, I completely agree. The Ivan exploit is legit and epic. So interesting here, we see PRANAV is now able to create that boss kind of over on the right. You can see that this is yet another one of these models that kind of looks like a spaceship. Kind of almost looks like a ship from, I always think these look like ships from Star Wars.
Yeah.
And we see that JAUSH on the right is really not holding back at all this time around. He's really just going for it. He's completely locked in, not going to make any mistakes, just going to make sure that he does this thing start to finish, has his game plan. We see PRANAV on the left using a little bit of, okay, all right. Oh, nice and clean. I was going to say some sloppy sketching, but he got in there and cleaned that up pretty quick. And it's pretty interesting, you know, some of these features, the way that the drawing is defined, you have to understand whether the features are in fact going perpendicular to the wall or whether it's a straight cut from the end. And that's something that you can figure out by looking at the drawing. And you can see in this case, it's in that section view in the upper left. And that's, you know, that's not always the easiest thing to do, especially if you're trying to also leverage the use of tools like thin feature extrusions and cuts and thicken and things like that. You know, sometimes you don't get exactly what you wanted from the cut, but it looks like both of our runners are understanding that idea. Both of our runners are getting in there and creating those cuts the correct way, and that's always good to see. So we see JAUSH here kind of tearing through this model like we talked about earlier, really taking no prisoners. Yeah. JAUSH is ready to lock this thing in, coming up with a mirror here, really creating a lot of what this geometry looks like, this kind of spaceship-looking geometry. Yeah. Making sure that he goes through, doesn't miss any features. I love seeing Inventor. I don't really get to see Inventor as much as I get to see some of the other CAD programs, and so it's always interesting to see kind of the tools that are in the different programs, like there, how JAUSH was able to quickly select those edges for that fillet.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's just like, as someone who's like trying to learn all the CAD programs, like I've kind of hit that point where I realize that I don't know a lot of stuff. Like it's this rabbit hole goes way deeper than I thought it did. And seeing them do this, like with that in mind, it's like I'm watching a bunch of wizards perform magical spells against each other.
Yeah, it is a wonderful inflection point when you, you know, when you feel that way, when you feel like you're able to know how much you don't know.
Yeah,
you know.
I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, it's great having you here. Thanks for joining us in the studio today.
Thank you for letting me come and go commentate on this. Yeah,
this is great. So it looks like JAUSH is now going to be creating some of the geometry at the one end of this model. You can see that this is a feature here at the end of the model that has what's called a spherical radius. Spherical radius is something that we occasionally see in engineering. It's not really that common depending on what field you're in, but it's good to understand what it takes to construct a sphere. You know, it's a good like a tech tip video that you might look up online sometime, how to construct a sphere in this program or in that program. I mean, in any CAD program, it's always going to be the same couple of steps, but it's good to kind of understand how to do that for when it does come up, whether it's in this situation or whether it's in, you know, more commonly it would be in like a ball joint where you need to create the housing for it and the ball itself. You do need to kind of know how to construct a sphere or a spherical cut in your CAD program. So we see that JAUSH was able to get in there and create that geometry, and now he looks to be constructing the geometry that he needs to cut away the model, maybe even just inferencing the existing edges of the model and using those existing edges, which is pretty powerful stuff. Yeah. Good when your CAD system can do that.
We're starting to come up on the final leg of this.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's looking like JAUSH is kind of looking over his model, doing what we often call the final spin, where you look at the model, you look at the print, and we're going to see here what he comes up with as far as a mass. JAUSH has entered into the chat 7.030. That is not correct. That is not correct. That is not correct. So maybe JAUSH needs to just re-examine what's going on with his model, making sure that he has got, looks like I just saw him make an adjustment there, so it looks like maybe he did discover. So we're going to see what he comes up with now. JAUSH has answered 6.088 pounds. That is not correct.
Oh, that is rough.
Man, JAUSH, not correct. So unfortunately, JAUSH is not going to be able to earn the point for this round. Ooh, man. So that means that we turn to the 5-minute clock, and the 5-minute clock gets dropped on PRANAV. And that means that PRANAV has 5 minutes to come up with the correct answer. Really only 4 minutes and 50 seconds now to come up with the correct answer and to enter that answer into the chat. Now, PRANAV can answer incorrectly one time. If PRANAV answers incorrectly 2 times, then we're going to get our wish, and we're going to get to see a third match between these two titans.
Oh, yeah.
2 killers. JAUSH is entering an F in the chat. If you guys want to share JAUSH's sentiment, please enter an F in the chat. I'm sure that we all know how that feels. So I will join you here in solidarity, JAUSH. Yep, F in the chat is, we have all been there. We have all... whether it's, you know, submitting an answer, lots of solidarity here in the chat. You guys are indeed the best chat ever. We all know how this feels, JAUSH. Whether it's, you know, submitting an answer on an exam, doing a speed modeling contest, or dare I say, even submitting a drawing for approval, getting it back all redlined up and having your redliner be like, what is wrong with you?
Yeah.
Like, did you not learn anything in school? And you just have to be like, I'm sorry. And then try again and try again and try again.
Yeah.
So we see now that PRANAV has 3 minutes and 39 seconds left to come up with an answer here. We're going to see how he does. JAUSH is saying, well done, PRANAV. You've got this. Wow.
I'm loving the sportsmanship here.
Yeah. Great sportsmanship. Great sportsmanship.
Yes. I think we all agree with that sentiment, Machina.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, and PRANAV coming in with an answer. 5.723 pounds. And that is correct. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Great job to PRANAV. That's going to earn him the victory cat. That is going to earn him a spot in the Elite 8. So congratulations to PRANAV.
Congratulations.
Wow, wow, wow. That is so epic. Great job. Let's give him one more round of applause. Great job, PRANAV. Man, oh man, oh man. That is so epic. Oh man, I'm excited here. This is so cool.